Fighter in the Wind is one of my favorite martial arts movies of all time. Why? Because just like the Rocky and Creed films, it's one of those movies that motivates me to get off my behind, to go train, and be a better version of myself in my daily life. Now, I remember when this film came out in 2004 while I was stationed in Korea, and if you do the math, yes, at time of this recording, that was 20 years ago. I remember seeing the DVD cover of a guy in a torn karate gi and saying, this looks interesting. And once I saw this movie, I was not disappointed. Now, it's based upon the manga Karate Baka Ichidai, which is loosely based upon the life of Sensei Maso Yama, the creator and founder of Kyokushin Karate, a style of karate that he believed was the strongest style of karate to ever exist. And for purposes of this review or my ups as to why I like this movie, I'm going to refer to him as Sensei Oyama. Because if you look up in his bio, he's actually born a Korean name of Choi Young Ui. But in the movie, they called him Choi Bardell. But for purposes, like I said, I'm going to refer to him as Sensei Oyama out of respect for any Kyokushin karateka out there. Now, before I get into it, I don't have not one bad thing to say about this film. I love it. Now, here are my ups. This is how you do a martial arts action drama. The characters, the storyline, the era, the set pieces. This is how you're supposed to do it. 2. Maso Yama himself. Here it is, you have a guy that had dreams of becoming a fighter pilot, but things in life happen, just like with the rest of us. We'll have dreams of doing something, but then something else comes up that we are remembered for in our lifetime. In Oyama's case, he is remembered for being one of the best martial artists of all time. Not only that, when you look at his journey of him fighting and getting into these scuffles, he loses, and that's when he decides to go off into the mountains into seclusion, taking nothing with him but his karate gi and a copy of the Book of Fire Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. And he trains harder than his body through the harsh winters and the hottest of summers and living off the natural resources. And when he comes from the mountains, he renames himself Maso Yama, and he goes to different schools and challenges all their fighters and defeats them, albeit with just one punch or one kick, because he believed that the purpose of practicing martial arts is to end the fight right then and there and not carry on. And if your technique didn't work, you need to train harder. And even though he ended up killing one of his opponents in an encounter, he was still shown to be a man of integrity and honor by taking care of the family of a guy that he killed in combat. Not intentionally, but stuff happens. So he ends up taking care of this guy's wife and child to make amends. The fight scenes were beyond impressive in this movie. Now, prior to this, I was used to the Hong Kong style of fighting that you see in a lot of Jackie Chan's films, but the Korean style of fight choreography is different. It's more grounded, realistic, nothing flashy, nothing fancy, just straightforward and to the point. And I have a deeper appreciation with that. Nothing of beating around the bush with 20 to 30 moves in a fight scene looking like someone is dancing. And just like I said earlier, I don't have a bad thing at all to say about this film. I enjoy the crap out of it. And finally, I understand there's been Enter the Dragon and On Bak and other martial arts films that motivate you or make you want to go take a karate class or whatever. But this is one of the few films that actually makes me want to take up Kyokushin karate, even in my not so young age, but it's still motivating nonetheless. So there you have it. The reasons as to why I like Fighter in the Wind. And if you haven't seen it, it will behoove you to check it out. And yes, there is an English dub version for people out there who don't do subtitles. Just saying.